Uh, One other verse that we have here that you'll generally hear from the Old Testament, these pastors going and talking about. That's in Genesis 14:19 through 21. Okay. And this verse is when Abraham goes to war and he wins. And on his way back, he comes across Melchizedek, who is also a how would you say he's like a reflection of Christ in a way, just because of how Melchizedek is described in the Old Testament. People don't really know when he was born. They don't have accounts of his death. Like he was just this like person who was just there. And the verse reads, and he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, who hath delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. So tithing is a tenth of something. That's what tithe means. It's a tenth of something. So the spoils that Abram won or was able to take in this encounter, he gave a tenth of it to Melchizedek. And people also go to this verse to say it's a good thing to tithe to God because God gives, right? Which is true. But to cause someone to tithe and make them feel bad and make them feel as though it's their duty, whether or not they like, it's like an electricity bill. You have to pay your electricity bill, even if you're sad about it. That's the same way they make tithes feel toward people in the church.
So we have Bishop Marvin Sapp. I found this video.
And you have to say his full government name.
Yeah, hey, Marvin Sapp. Everybody know Marvin Sapp, so this is nothing new. But this video is going to show us, how he likes to get down in his church when it comes to tithes and offering, and we're going to see a lot of manipulation here. So if you haven't seen this video, kind of brace yourself because it's going to get it's going to get raw, and this is what a lot of these type of churches do to get more tithes and offerings, to essentially gain. And when you ask your question, like what do they do with the money, that's when you start figuring out stuff is funny, rhyming on purpose. But let's get into the video.
And Social Dallas did something that was absolutely unequivocally amazing. Let me tell you what Social Dallas did. Last Sunday, Social Dallas raised $1.9 million on one Sunday. Thank you, sis.
You see, and not to and not to pause it early, but you remember how I was telling you they make this hero story, like, oh, this person is, was on the last thing or whatever, but they gave and all of a sudden, this is a similar like type of thread of that type of, manipulative like story to make people want to get right. He's using what somebody else did or what some other church did and saying we got to copy that. That's kind of like he's just making a story to help people give more. Like this is just something to push people to give more. So right now we're seeing that story is he's bringing a comparison. He's making a comparison from someone else or some other church so that they can mimic what they have done. And it's pretty extreme, but let's get to the video.
I'm gonna try that one more time. A new young church full of young people between the ages of 25 to 45 raised $1.9 million on a Sunday. I'm gonna tell you the reason why you can't clap. The reason why some of y'all can't clap is because your faith is not where mine is. 1.9, they've been renting a facility for years, and they decided they needed their own facility. The pastor came to his membership and said, listen, we need to raise a certain amount of money so that we can secure this facility. The membership of the church gathered together, and in one Sunday, after he gave them instructions, told them the day that they needed it, and they were able to raise almost $2 million. Now, the reason why I'm excited about it, because if he can raise $2 million, I should be able to get 150,000 on the first Sunday of the month of May.
Boom. You saw the setup? The setup was, if they can do it, God's going to do it for you. If God did it for them, God's going to do it for you. This particular this particular pitch was, pretty good. Like, this sales pitch was pretty nice because the punch felt very light. Because we were at 1.9 million is what the other person or the other church did, right? But then what I want you to do is just give me 150,000. That sounds super light compared to 1.9 million.
It's doable. Yeah,
it's doable, right? It's like, oh,
are you kidding me?
That is not hard at all, right? Compared to 1.9.
No.
That's feathers. You see, that's a form of manipulation. Is like a sales pitch. Like he's trying to sell you into giving more. So it's a story behind it, and it's gonna be a comparison thing. Oh, they can do this, and the bar of which he's asking for is way lower than what the person or the church did, right? It make you feel like, oh, I can, sure enough, reach this goal. So it's just these tricks, and this one right here, I never heard this particular version before. I've heard mainly a singled out person, but either way, it's still kind of the same story. It's like, this person did this, God did it for them. Let God do it for us. Let's do something like that, so that God can do what happened to them to us, and that's what they do. They this is the blueprint of how they basically talk people into giving more or giving to what they want them to give.
Yeah. And if we're talking about misconceptions, this is it. This is the glaring misconception that we'll get. So what you're not going to get in the church is a blatant lie. Like, they're not going to say, hey, I need $500,000 because I'm just trying to build me a bigger house. If you ever hear that in a church, I think you should, let me not say that, because if someone does it, they might come and get me. I think you should just get up and leave. You should just get up and leave and slam the church door as you walk out of it, because that's a straight lie. This is a little bit harder to perceive if you're not aware of biblical doctrine and what it teaches. So a misconception is a situation viewed in the lens of a lie. So the truth of this situation is, hey, this specific pastor, he needs, what was it, 150K?
150K.
The twist, the misconception is, but look at this church, 1.5 or whatever $million. So now you can easily do 150. The problem is, you didn't have to talk about that church at all.
No.
That church, in everything we heard, they might have actually been right in collecting that tithe money for that building. They didn't want to pay any more rent, so they just wanted to buy the building. That's
buy it
fine.
All.
Yeah, that makes sense. We don't even know how they presented it to their people. It's how you present it to people. That's the problem.
Yeah.